This is a story from VOA News. New radioactive leak reported contained at Japan nuclear plant. Now, we're coming up on the third anniversary, and this is what TEPCO said today. The leak has been stopped, and it's unlikely that any of the water reached the sea, which is 700 meters away. There was about 100 tons of contaminated water. And of course, we've learned in the past that this is a regular occurrence, actually. They've had 300 tons leaking regularly for quite some time, and they said, don't worry about it. It's just the ocean, and the ocean is very big, so the radiation really doesn't matter. And here's what they said. The leak occurred because two valves on the storage tank were mistakenly left open. And there are, of course, other malfunctions that they didn't mention. And we see this happening in the U.S. as well. Even though we haven't had such a large event as Fukushima Daiichi, we have a very, very old nuclear power plant in Washington State, the Hanford nuclear power plant. And this is a story from Mikhail Thalen. He says, whistleblower is fired after warning of danger at the Hanford nuclear plant. This is Donna Bush, the site's environmental and nuclear safety manager, now the third high-level employee to be removed after exposing Hanford's growing dangers. And he points out in the story that this plant was built in the 1940s as part of the Manhattan Project. And this is something we're seeing over and over and over again. Nuclear power plants that came into commission that were supposed to operate for 20, 25 years. That was their design parameter. That was their licensing parameter. And then once they reached that point, they just arbitrarily expend it for another couple of decades or 30 years or 40 years. And that's what's happened over and over again at Hanford nuclear power plant. And what they say is, she said that the URS gave me no reason for my termination other than, quote, unprofessional conduct, unquote. They gave me no explanation, no documentation. And he says that she joins others, such as the former head of research, who was fired shortly after his concerns prompted a federal investigation last year. And just last year, he reports, workers discovered 6 leaking storage tanks. Sounds like Fukushima, doesn't it? That were producing 1,600 times higher than normal radiation readings. And finally, for some good news, this is a story from the 10th Amendment Center. A bill to nullify a federal hemp ban in Tennessee has passed the subcommittee. This is a bill that would effectively nullify a federal ban on the growing of hemp. Now, of course, as the article points out, hemp has a lot of industrial competitors, and many people suspect that's why the DEA is banning it. It has no psycho effects to anyone. You can't get high off of hemp. It's related to marijuana, but you can't smoke it and get high. They use it for things like rope. Remember the Hemp for Victory campaign that the U.S. Navy had a video about that, fighting the Nazis in World War II. But it also is a competitor to cotton, to paper, to lumber, to pharmaceuticals. That's right. It's a lot of things that it competes with. Many suspect that's why it's been banned. But more importantly, why is it that the DEA or the FDA, for example, can ban things just arbitrarily? It took 2 constitutional amendments out of the 20-some-odd that we have for alcohol prohibition because the federal government does not have the authority to ban substances. That's why we had a constitutional amendment to ban alcohol and why another one was required to take that off again. But now they've taken the position and they've enacted acts and laws to say that everything is prohibited unless they expressly permit it. And that's the real danger here that everyone should be concerned about because it also affects people not just in terms of competition for things like cotton and wood, but it also affects people in terms of the FDA prohibiting medicine from terminally ill patients.
The facts are in. The studies are legion. Sodium fluoride and other members of the fluorine family that are added to Western water supplies are devastating the health and cognitive ability of the people that drink it. So the question is, why are the social engineers adding it to the water? Simple, dumb down the host population that the parasitic technocracy is feeding on. We developed Fluoride Shield to be the highest quality, highest standards because I use it every day and my family uses it every single day. Let's take a closer look at the ingredients that make up this special proprietary formula. Tamarind has been celebrated for its ability to immobilize toxic fluoride residues, while zeolites have a long history of attracting and holding toxic compounds. Enter fulvic acid, an excellent cleansing agent. Then we added the highest quality shilajit, a rare compound that is collected from the high mountains of the Himalayas. We topped it all off with the powerhouse herb cilantro that is intended to mobilize fluoride and other dangerous compounds for removal from the body. And the final touch to energize this formula is our proprietary nascent iodine. And as always, consult your physician as well, because that is important. And finally, Fluoride Shield, Survival Shield, and all the products at InfoWarsLife.com grew out of my quest to try to find the very best compounds from God's cornucopia to protect myself and my family. And from our research, I believe we are bringing you the best, highest quality products. And you have that commitment from Alex Jones and the entire InfoWars crew.
Now you can watch The Alex Jones Show live as it happens at Infowars.com/show.
You'll find links to all of our content there and a free 15-day trial for Prison Planet TV.
More than 60 movies and documentaries all in one place at Infowars.com/show.